It's a new year, though no one cares about that, I suppose. Chaz was here last week. No one cares about Chaz. There's gaming news. That's the ticket. Spearheading this week's rundown has to be Bot Factory, because it's the latest announcement from Eagle Griffin Games from designers Jean Martins and Vital Lacerda, and it's that Lacerda bit that's got people excited, right? And that Bot Factory is a re-implementation of the highly regarded car manufacturing game Kanban. In fact, the tagline literally says, Bot Factory in a Kanban way, gather projects and parts to build bots to accomplish contracts. Your goal in Bot Factory is to gather projects and parts, but instead of cars, you're building robots. Nature's true progression. And as you progress, you'll be fulfilling demand goals and thereby improving the value of the bots you can make. But while using the framework of not that one, that's coming later. Using the framework of Kanban with some familiar gameplay, Bot Factory is a brand new beast. It's unclear how heavy this game is. It plays 1 to 4 players in under an hour, and it looks like, from the Toy Story looking front cover, to be more accessible than some of Lacerda's other games such as Vinyos or The Gallerist. And instead, if my wild speculation is something to go by, this will do to Kanban what Mercado de Lisboa did for Lisboa, taking core aspects to create a unique and accessible game. And I'm into robots until they do turn on us, which they will. And who can blame them? And this episode is made possible in part by limited edition Marvel gaming accessories from Upper Deck, featuring fan favourite Marvel superheroes and villains, and made of futuristic materials that protect your cards from crumples, creases, stains, and I believe the ultimate heat death of the universe. I mean, though, when that happens, you'll have no way of proving me wrong. These lovingly crafted card sleeves feature Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, Black Panther, Black Widow, Wolverine, Venom, Thor and a Unicorn, and others. Plus, just in case, a series of fun and functional playmats are also available, featuring Wolverine, Spider-Man, Thanos, the Avengers, and others. These and more gaming accessories are available at local game stores and through the link in this video description to upperdeckstore.com. So use them to thoroughly protect your games in style. Now for something completely different. Well, it's not completely different. It's still a board game, right? It's not a cake or a t-shirt cannon. It's Skull Canyon Ski Fest from Pandasaurus Games. Taking my unbiased journalistic hat off and chucking it momentarily into a ravine, Pandasaurus have been on a roll recently with a bunch of games I've really enjoyed. Which is why Skull Canyon Ski Fest caught my eye. Also, let's be real, there is a Yeti on the cover of the box, which does make me happy. The game has elements of Ticket to Ride on the main map of the board as you take cards in the hope of making routes or skiing the best trails to get fame and points, as well as maybe earning you coveted spots on the leaderboard for more points if you skied a route the best. And at the end of each skiing session, the players move into a ski village phase that feels reminiscent of Parks or Tokaido as you move along a path of no return, performing actions and gathering up special items. I demoed Skull Canyon Ski Fest at PAX Unplugged with Paula. She was the one that spotted it, really, but I am happy to take the credit for it. You're welcome. And I tell you, I enjoyed it a lot. There aren't that many skiing and snowboarding games, and this one, again, has a Yeti that you can use to your own benefit. Though, I would have called it Ticket to Slide. So, you know, they missed a trick there. Fife is the next game I want to present to you, like a cat that wants to show you it's done a murder. Because it's a Pegasus Spiel tile laying game, and that, my friends, is my jam. According to the publishers, in Fife, 2 to 5 players find themselves in a beautiful and dreamy South Seas location. Blue sky, blue sea, blue tree. I've not been to a dreamy South Seas location, so I don't know. I bet there's sand. Sand is awful. But each player has their own 5x5 grid, some lucky charm tiles and 15 scoring boards. Those scoring boards will tell you, unsurprisingly, what you need to do to score points, whether that's placing tiles in a sequence of colours or numbers or sets. You're pattern building to fulfill these scoring opportunities. The game is all about scoring these patterns as you draw chits out of a bag, placing them onto your board and hopefully matching them up with these goals as you go. To not only get points, but to get bonus points for completing multiple goals at once. Big bonus multiple points that probably make you feel pretty great. Because you're forced to place the tokens that you draw, which may or may not be particularly helpful in the different patterns that you're trying to make. That's where those lucky charm tiles come into play, allowing you to move things around once in a while on your board. It sounds like one of those go big or go home board games where you can try to pull off the ultimate move to get mega points. And I always try and seldom achieve to, and I always end up going home. But I have a good time with it, so it's exciting to me. This looks like a really fun family weight game to me. Tile laying really is my favourite board gaming thing, other than, you know, my friends here at Watch It Played. So I'm looking forward to trying Fife in March when it's out. The announcement of Star Trek Super Skill Pinball caught my attention because of those first two words, Star Trek. I'm always going to check out a Star Trek game. I can't not. Also, at one point in my life, I did think, could I be that guy who gets into pinball? And turns out no, because I live in the type of town that got very excited about a second boss. But now I can get into some pinball with WizKid's announcement of the second sequel to Jeff Engelstein's roll and write pinball game, Super Skill Pinball, with 4 new and unique games that range from the introductory Starfleet Academy, where you're trying to beat the Kobayashi Maru, through to all-out Borg Attack, where you're trying to save your quadrant of the galaxy. Wait until they find out about Species 8472. Am I right? I love Star Trek. Alright? I really do. I'm pretty excited about this, I'll be honest. Framework was announced by Pegasus as a new game coming in March by Uwe Rosenberg, which isn't a follow-up to Patchwork, as you might assume. I know that's what I assumed, but it's a new game in the Nova Luna and Sagani family of games, which, along with Habitats from Quali Games that started off the whole line, they're all games that I really, really like. There's just something about them that's fun to me. Tile laying, pattern building, rage quitting, it's fun. Framework consists of 60 simple and 60 complex tiles, and as is similar in previous games, each player starts with a bunch of tokens that you're trying to get rid of in order to win. And on a turn, the lead player draws a bunch of tiles from which all the other players now must draft and add into their tableau. And it's the mischievous placement of those tiles that makes the game, as you're firstly going to try and place them so that you can score the tiles you've already placed, or you're going to try and set yourself up for new tasks to complete in the future. I'm very intrigued on how this twists a system I've grown to really enjoy, so look out for Framework later this year. Remaining with and staying true to my unwavering journalistic neutrality, Witchstone was one of the best games of 2021, right? The Reiner Knizia and Martino Chiatera point salad of a game that's just, it's so combo-tastic, people. It's just great. Which is why I was very pleased to see Witchstone Full Moon, the game's first expansion, announced by Huch. It's a full moon in the magical world of Witchstone, and as everybody knows, witches and wizards develop very special powers during the full moon, apparently. And as such, the full moon expansion adds into the mix 2 new modules that can be used individually or together like some type of crazed concoction. One of which features new cauldron tiles for better chain reactions. And then from the other fragments of information that I managed to piece together, it says 3D miniatures and new special cards that, among other things, let you activate one of 2 special abilities each turn. I don't know how you get the special abilities or what the 3D miniatures is all about, but I don't care because I'm buying the heck out of this. A modular expansion to Witchstone sounds fantastic and I'm excited. I remember trying to hunt down a copy of Animal Suspect a long time ago, mainly because 2 of my 3 favourite animals are on the cover, as well as it being a very silly animal impressions party game, which is why I was really happy to see a new version of Bruno Faiduti's rare 2014 party game coming this year. And there is a raccoon on the cover of this one, so that's pretty good as well, really. In Animotion, the game's new name, we're asked to not be afraid of looking silly. Mission accomplished, because that's the only way that you'll let others discover your true animal nature. You lay out 6 animal cards and 6 impressions, roll 2 dice, giving you your unique combination. And then you're going to try to imitate that for other people to guess what it is. Will your combination be some sort of shy squirrel? Or some type of attentive antelope? A confused chicken? Who can say? It's just super silly, but I've been looking at a lot more party games recently, I think because of how the world's been, you know? So this reprint is very welcome in my collection. And finally, Last Light by the Dice Tower's Roy Cannaday and Grey Fox Games will soon be coming to GameFound. And it's a fast-paced 4X game with big 3D planets and a rotating board in which players play as asymmetrical alien factions. It's all simultaneous as they are gathering light right before the heat death of the universe, which is the second time that's come up in this episode, which is probably nothing to worry about. Last Light is a highly ambitious game that challenges the 4X board games that came before it to a duel at high noon, and then manages to shoot them before they finish setup, which is an analogy that fell apart very quickly. Look, it's a big 4X based game that plays in under an hour. Expanding, exterminating, exploring, exercising, exploit. The other one is exploit. In under an hour, I'm totally in. I want this game, and I want to destroy all my rivals, and I want to win space, and I want to do that in about an hour. So if that sounds good to you, then you can go over to GameFound to find the campaign. And that's the news. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching. Continue your journey on with us with one of these videos, and I'll see you over there.